Naira's Andy Serling with Armen and Levack on 104.5 The Team. And Andy, what have you been up to this week? Hanging out at the pool? Did you go to the beach? Taking a little R&R?
A lot of pool time up here.
Yeah.
A lot of pool time. I'm actually thinking of heading over the races, but I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
Here, actually, I can't get in, so I think I might not go.
There you go. Andy Serling.
I wish they had barred me 4 weeks ago. They would save me a lot of money.
Right?
Oh, no. It has been that kind of summer.
Oh, man. Naira handicapper and analyst Andy Serling with Armen and Levack. He joins us every Thursday at 3:45. And, Andy, here we go. I just want to make sure I'm looking at the past. And, of course, we've talked to you every week for about 3 months now. You have picked against American Pharoah in every race of the Triple Crown. Are you picking against him on Saturday in the Travers?
I haven't made my final picks on all the Travers races. I've been sort of living with the PPs the last day they've been out. I'm not sure. I feel a sort of sense of duty to the Zayats and Bob Baffert that I continue to pick against them.
There you go.
And just the American public in general. I feel that important. Because I think that it's clear that his winning is really directly related to the fact that I picked against him every time. So I think that I need to pick against him again on Saturday just to make sure he wins.
I like that.
On the other hand, I got to say, I feel like I always stood on some sort of reasonable ground when I picked against him in the past races, whether I turned out to be wrong or not. Obviously, in this case, I was very wrong. But I'm having trouble looking at this Travers and making a particularly coherent case against him. Maybe that means I'm just supposed to pick against him because he finally looks like he absolutely can't lose even to me.
Now, Andy, when you look at this field, is there any other horse that actually could threaten him?
I think there are talented horses in this race. Whether or not they're as talented as American Pharoah, that's obviously highly debatable at this point. But, I do think Frost is a nice horse. Whether or not Upstart runs is debatable. I think he's a very good horse. I think Texas Red, in the right situation, could beat American Pharoah. I think he's that kind of good horse. I really think if American Pharoah had run the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, that Texas Red would have beaten him. But he would have beaten him under very positive circumstances for him and negative for American Pharoah. It just doesn't feel like this Travers is going to be a circumstance that's going to play in the favor of Texas Red and against American Pharoah, because looking at the race, I feel like Texas Red is going to be the one who's sort of stalking him. I don't think he's going to be doing it that fast. So you're saying, I think that Texas Red can stalk American Pharoah in fairly moderate fractions and then outfinish him. That's going to be tough because at the end of the day, American Pharoah just finishes incredibly strongly, and nothing against Texas Red. He hasn't demonstrated the ability to finish as well as American Pharoah on even terms. I think he could beat him if he got the right pace scenario, et cetera. I don't see that happening in this Travers. It's not impossible, but it's hard to imagine looking at it on paper.
Andy Serling with Naira at Andy Serling on Twitter. Andy, can you set the scene for us? Can you put it into relevant terms of what it's like in Saratoga right now this week with American Pharoah coming on Saturday?
Yeah, I think it's one of these things that sort of every day it gets closer, people getting more excited. I mean, let's face it, I got up here, 6 weeks ago, and literally the first night I was here, I went out, and the only questions people asked me were, is American Pharoah coming to Saratoga? So it's they've been talking about it probably since he crossed the wire in the Belmont. So there's a lot of anticipation, and now we're close. So I guess they're getting excited. It's the calm before the storm as I walk the track right now. But he's going to be working on the track tomorrow morning, and I won't be surprised if 20,000 people show up on Friday morning to see him work around the track. And he's got that kind of appeal. So it's getting exciting, and people are thrilled. And there's nothing, that's a great thing. I mean, he's brought an enormous amount of excitement, both among racing fans, but I think people outside of racing. And to tell you the truth, Armen, I really didn't think this would be the case. I sort of scoffed at people that said, a Triple Crown winner is going to, really bring a lot of excitement, center of the game. And I thought, whatever, And I was wrong. People are really excited about this. And I think it's so terrific how the Zayats, as well as Bob Baffert, have cooperated and raced him. I mean, a lot of people said he'll never bring him to Saratoga. And I would have probably been one of them. I wouldn't say never, but I didn't think it was a huge I wouldn't say it was highly likely. But he's here, and that's a terrific thing.
No, yeah, I mean, I didn't think he would be here either. I look at this situation and I look at the fact that they capped it at 50,000. Do you think they should have opened up the infield?
No, well, I think in a perfect world you might, but I think there's I don't think I know that there are reasons we can't. So it's not as easy as people say. There's a number of reasons we can't. People like to say things about us as though, why don't they do that? As though we don't think about these things.
Right.
As though we don't want a reasonable way to get 100,000 people here, whatever it is. But we also have to think about concerns with safety and what is best for our customers. We're certainly trying to make as much money as we can. Don't kid yourself. But if we're capping attendance, we're doing it for a variety of reasons that we've given a lot of thought to. And when people say they should open the infield, well, it's not clear we can for a variety of reasons. We've given a lot of thought. So I think we're doing the best we can. The truth is, I think over the years when there have been excessive attendance numbers for Travers Day, I wouldn't have wanted to have been the guy doing the head count to come up with that number. I think sometimes in sporting events, this may shock you, all numbers released are not always true.
What?
I know. This is really bursting your bubble. This is so nice.
This is upsetting. Had no idea.
Right. I wouldn't want to do a head count to Preakness every year and come up with that number.
Yeah. Naira's Andy Serling with Armen and Levack, 104.5 The Team, 104.5theteam.com. Tonight is a big night in downtown Saratoga. We'll get to that in 2 minutes. Andy, how do you make money on the Travers?
You get involved in the multi-race bets. We've got guaranteed wagers ending in the Travers. We've got a $250,000 guarantee in the Pick Six. It's 6 Grade 1 races. We've got a $1 million guarantee ending in the Travers. It's 4 Grade 1 races. And, if you just feel like American Pharoah is going to win, you single them. The other races are wide open. American Pharoah might win the Travers and pay $2.50 for a $2 bet, and the Pick 4 might pay $2,000. It's not. These bets are not singularly dependent on one horse. So get involved in the other races. This is not just the Travers and 12 races you're not interested in. These are incredible races. It's an incredible card. They're wide open. I've been looking at it for 5 hours, and I still have to make picks in 6 of 13 races. So it's that kind of card, but it's fun. You could have American Pharoah win and still make a lot of money.
Now with Pharoah running and with so many people betting and doing so many things, will all the purses go up? Will we have a chance to make more money on every race?
Well, the purses have gone up, and that's one of the reasons we've tracked it. For instance, the race before the Travers is the Sword Dancer, which is usually $500,000 or $600,000. It's $1 million this year, and we've attracted Flintshire, who was second in the Arc de Triomphe over in Paris last year, second in the Breeders' Cup Turf, and is one of Europeans' top horses going a distance, and he's running in the race before the Travers. Now, he's probably going to win at a short price, but if you don't like him and you beat him, you're going to blow up the Pick 4 right there. So there are opportunities, and the purses haven't increased, and the Forgo, the Priority One Jets Forgo, which we're running, I think, a couple races before the Travers, that's a 12-horse field. It's a very interesting race. So there's a lot going on in this card.
Andy Serling with Naira at Andy Serling on Twitter. And Andy, it's a historic weekend at a historic venue, one of the most historic venues in the entire country. And we've had calls, we've had tweets. How do I get involved with this weekend? What can I do to go partying in downtown Saratoga? Tonight at the Parting Glass, you're having your show at the Post Live, and it's going to be a big one.
No, it's going to be a great show tonight. Obviously, there's a lot of people around for Travers Week. Right now, Dale Romans is definitely appearing, and Dale, of course, trains Keen Ice, and Dale is one of the most entertaining guys in racing, and also a very smart guy who has a lot to say about a lot of parts of the game. Eddie Olczyk, who is who does the handicapping for NBC, and they're here, of course, this weekend. Eddie's much better known by hockey fans, of course, and Eddie's terrific and a huge fan of the game. Eddie's going to be there, and perhaps some other people will stop by, and we have a concert afterwards as well for a really good charity. Nashville Comes to Races, and I think it's a concert. It's going to be really good. It's going to be fun. And if you pay $25 for admission to that, you're putting a raffle for a finish line box at Saratoga. And I know the box, and it's pretty much on the finish line. So for $25, you had an opportunity to get something that's worth maybe $10,000.
That's awesome. At the Post Live, at the Parting Glass tonight. Go be there live from 8 to 9. If you can't make it out to downtown Saratoga tonight, shame on you, but you can hear it right here on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio. We will replay at the Post Live on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. So as you head out to Saratoga, we got you covered with more horse racing talk on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Andy, could this realistically be the last race of American Pharoah's career, depending on his performance?
Well, realistically, you could say it's always possible, but I think that they have every intention of racing him further, and I think we'll see him in the Breeders' Cup Classic first end of the year. Achman Zayat wants to race this horse. He knows that people love it. He loves it, and so far he has been more than true to his word, so there's no reason not to believe that we won't see him in the Breeders' Cup Classic, and that'll be a race to remember.
Andy, as I look at this, I wish there was a way for the people who can't be at the track to, I don't know, log on to a magical box in their house and wager on this race.
Well, there actually is. I'm glad you brought that up. NYRA.com, the magic box of horse racing, where you can bet on anything and everything, and you can watch anything and everything on NYRA.com. You really need to be a member. You need to have money in your account and bet it, especially if you can't get the track. And we've got our races in HD. All you have to do is sign up for an account, get an account with NYRA.com, and you can bet all the races, but you can watch them in HD as well. And we've got cameras all over the track. If you can't make it here, it is absolutely the closest thing to be here.
And your coverage as well of the Travers is at NYRA.com, at Andy Serling on Twitter. And Andy, here we go, man. It's going to be a fun weekend. You're going to be in the middle of all of it. We'll see you tonight at the Parting Glass at the Post Live, 8 o'clock. And have a great weekend, my friend.
Thanks a lot, guys.